Alright, so we are here to watch a gameplay and kind of help my buddy C improve on his overall gameplay. There's gonna be a lot to harp on, but um, we'll try to kind of focus on some of the more immediate things I can help out on. I mean, there's a lot of things like vision control, itemization, there's positioning, there's so much to talk about. And we'll create a really long video, but I'm gonna see if I can try to filter out some of the more advanced stuff and kind of simplify things a little bit. Let me try experimenting with some of the controls here, see if oh, what did that do? Oh, okay. Alright, that's like a increased. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, I would use a spectator mode for this rewatching this replay, but um, I didn't have that. Okay, so this is it is one big thing. So I would say always play paranoid. Um, always assume there are people here, because honestly, I would, if it were me, I'd always do something like this, something cheeky and 100 brushes to get some free damage. That's just me. You should expect the same from your opponents. Never ever expect your opponents are horrible or bad players. You could, as they demonstrate it, but you want to respect your opponents, because it's gonna come bite you in the ass. It will bite you in the ass. Bites me in the ass all the time. Right there, you just lost a big chunk of your ass, man. Looks like you are solo laning. You got a jungler, I think. No 6. You got Wukong mid, and you've got a Garen, Master Yi. Bye. Oh yeah, I remember this game. This game is funny. Alright. Your wave is coming. Can I skip a little quicker? Okay, so now you ward. Okay. Alright. Then you got vision on the bush, and you know no one's there. So you are against the Zed. This is actually a matchup that goes well for you. In the early game, it's a little annoying because Zed has that poke, but there you go. So you're pushing out the wave here. So there's several ways you can play this matchup. One is to push him and keep him under tower. Zed actually farms better under the tower than most people, but it just depends on your playstyle. There's a lot I can talk about. So right now we'll just not even talk about that, because I think that's still too advanced for you to consider right now. Advanced lane mechanics. So whenever you go for the burnout, what I would do is, well, one, not fight him in his own minion wave like you're just doing right now. Like, what? What are you doing, yo? Minions do matter. But when you're burning your minions, actually walk up to him. Don't really. You don't even have to attack him. Don't auto attack him. Just let your burn kind of do the damage. And so right here, what was that, man? That was improper positioning. A lot of things went wrong there, buddy. Is there a way to rewind or go back? Nope. Okay. So you throw out your spell, you tag him with it, cool. So at this point, this is no bueno. No bueno, Wapple. So, if I remember right, there's 4 people on the map. There's Janna, there's Ashe, there is a mid laner, and then there is you. That's bad. Well, your opponent, Zed. Right, 4 people. There's one unaccounted party. You had to assume that you might be getting ganked up the ass right now, but you don't. More than anything, it's improper positioning and getting raped by a gangbang, as opposed to just one champion. You brought this upon yourself, right? Lead karma, because you attacked Zed with an auto attack. When you auto attack, minions will aggro on you. A general rule is that when you're under a tower, as long as you don't do any damage to the enemy champion, you're fine. If in any way, form, or shape you damage the enemy champion while the tower is focusing minions, which they prioritize in general, you will draw aggro, which is aggression from just the tower, and it will attack you. That's just any damage, right? Now, if you're in a minion wave, if you're the only one there, the tower or the minions will attack you, but the minions will draw aggression towards you if you auto attack the enemy champion. You can use spells to poke at Zed, not on their tower, but you can poke at Zed with your spells and not receive any damage from minions. Well, the mistake you made here was scrapping with him, and you actually auto attacked him, which caused all these minions to attack you. So now you are versus effectively 2.5 champions, I would say, because you've got Academy. Those guys do a crap ton of damage. Yeah. So you can see the damage that you're taking: 223 and 555 from all these little dudes, and you're just getting wailed on. Zed all ends you, and you're dead. You are dead. I mean, you might have been able to save yourself when you exhausted him, or by exhausting him, right? And then just getting the fuck out of there, son. So right here, bam. When he goes all in, you know he's going all in. I probably would have exhausted him there and gotten the fuck out, because now you got all these minions. They're unaccounted for particle damage flying towards you. You're probably lower than you think you are. And I would have started chugging a pot. Sorry, not marijuana, but health. And just run. Just exhaust him and run. Burn out, right? Turn on your fire aura and just run. So, yep. That's where you died. So now you're looking to buy, right? Looking ahead, realizing there's not a whole lot you can buy anyway. Realizing how screwed you are. Yep. So you could have bought some of this stuff. Or that crop, that refillable potion upgrade, because then you could go into young. Shyvana is actually one of those champions who have a pretty decent clear, so that item may have benefited you later on. Normally, at this point, you would consider teleporting in. When you teleport in is usually dictated by how many minions you're about to miss, but it looks like you're gonna be able to get back to lane in time to receive the experience. Whenever minions die in your presence within a certain range, you will get experience. That adds to your levels, right? And so here you want. So I'll tell you this right now, even though it's kind of an advanced thing, but it's also very basic, right? Farming is very important in League of Legends. You want to be able to kill all those minions somehow, or get the most out of them. So 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. So there's 9 minions. You want to get as many of those as you possibly can. And you're taking free poke from Zed under tower. At this point, you've died once. You might want to look into damage control. Granted, it is a newbie game. You don't have to be as. You still want to be cautious. You want to develop good gaming mechanics, but some of the things I may not necessarily harp on you for is because this is not a high level game. You're not going to be as punished. You're not going to be punished as hard. But you want to get all these minions. If you want to be a total dickweed about it, you could just farm these minions. In midst of all the poking, you got teleport. You can teleport back in the lane. So just build armor and just farm up and ignore that even exists. So you're missing all this farm. I think you might have gotten 1 or 2. So out of you got maybe 3. Giving you the benefit of the doubt here. So out of 9 minions, you got 3, which is still pretty bad. I'm sorry to say, bro. Sorry to say. So if there was a time to go in on Zed, wouldn't be now, because he's level 4. You're kind of flirting with death here. You do have exhaust. Alright, so you want to put in Q, but you don't. Yeah. that Q would help you with farming under the tower as well. Okay. Zed kind of mispositions slightly, so I wouldn't even attack him. I would just kind of burn him, him. That's where Q would have helped you a lot, because with Q you can do something called an auto attack cancel. You perform it correctly. Basically, you auto attack them, then you hit Q and you auto attack them again. You'll be able to land about 3 melees worth of damage within 1.5 seconds. So that would have, you might have actually been able to kill him if you had exhausted him and just gone all the way in, right? Again, that's just laning mechanics of getting the farm and stuff that you need to work on. So you want a level in Q. Good. Okay. All right. So Zed wants it back. He's just constantly shoving the wave in. I'll explain that to you someday. So he's backing out. You're not sure if he's going back out, but you absolutely want to get that farm. Okay. So he is back. So I would be a little worried here. So that's what I was talking about. So I would be a little worried here because, for one, you know you've died already. Zed has been in lane longer than you. He's probably gotten more experience. When he was level 5, my concern was what he was going to do once he hits level 6. Because with level 6, all he needs to do is walk up a little bit to you, ult you, and then go all in. No, I don't think he uses gap closer. Okay, he did. Has a high cooldown, but with his ult, a slight damage amplifier, right, added to that, he can definitely kill you if he lands all his spells, right? Maybe even if he misses one spell. If he can land his shurikens and lands a melee, you are definitely dead. And you'd be missing this whole wave too if you died. Even if he dies, right? Even if you guys go 1-for-1, you lose out on all that experience and gold. Again, you're taking this free damage. Like, why run through there and let him do all this to you? Why not just run around here? Why not kind of fly around? And so the other thing is you're putting yourself at risk for no reason. It would be a different story if you actually got the farm, but you're not getting the farm. You are missing a great majority of them. Can you even get this? No. Can you get that? No. How about that? So it's got to be a trade-off. Don't make it a lose-lose situation. That's just common sense. Right, you missed that one. Missed that one. You missed this whole wave. So, oh, and I think you're dead. You are dead. I would have just ran back, ulted back, but this Zed is not good. So that was a bad time for exhaust too. You should have exhausted him earlier and went all in if you wanted to go all in, right? So at the beginning of the fight, you want dropped. So what if you plan to? So here, let's go back here. So you plan to fight, right? You want to exhaust at the beginning of the fight. Right now, exhausting would be the best thing to do in general. The earlier you exhaust, the better. Think of it as almost like a stun, right? So a lot of Zed's damage output is predicated on his ability to land a whole lot of damage, right? So what you want to do, if you're not sure, generally is to drop the exhaust and do as much damage as you can first, because the damage that he's gonna return to you is gonna be minimal, because you'll have him exhausted. He's got slowed attack speed. You drop your shizzle, right? If you want to back out, you do have time. I mean, you could possibly outplay with this. It's hard, but it's possible. But Zed's most dangerous when he has his ulti, right? Which he does. So what you want to do is drop your exhaust, lay down your damage, drop your full rotation if you have it. Unfortunately, you don't. You're actually kind of screwed right now. But you would drop that, right? Drop your full rotation if you have it, then run. Like just dick around. Hide hide around these bushes, threaten to avoid stuff, try to avoid his shurikens. He just threw his Q out, so his damage kind of plummeted. But within the next 5-6 seconds, that's a Z Q cooldown, generally about 6 seconds, um, if I remember right. He will have it up again, and he can do lots of damage. And so in that time frame, you want to get out your damage and just flirt and flirt around death until your spell rotation comes back up. And hopefully by then, he has missed some spells. He's on cooldowns, and his ult hasn't really done a whole lot. You can go back in for a finish when your Q comes back up, right? Again, remember, it has the potential of doing 3 autos worth of damage. And this whole time, again, it's an unfavorable fight for you because you're fighting around minions. But if you were maybe like back here, you would have had a greater chance. But you did everything you could have possibly done wrong in this fight, right? Your cooldowns were low, you exhausted late, you weren't respecting the minion line, and that's where you died. That's where Zed just did whatever he wanted to you. He just literally just jumped on you and just started auto attacking. He just did that. He just jumped on you and auto attacked you to death with no recourse. So yeah, I hope you can learn from that, buddy. So you're looking to buy items. Okay, you're going more of a tanky route with the burn going up. You don't even have enough, but you know you can get adequately tanky. I would have probably bought another armor or a pair of boots, or maybe bought ninja tabbies if you had enough. Not even paying attention to your teammates right now. I'm not, at least. I'm focusing on you. All right, you managed to get back in time, right, to get your wave. Again, you know, you want to work on farm. When you're behind, when you have opportunities like that would have been a great time when Zed went back in. You could have just laid on a crap ton of free damage, like land the auto attack, like reset, right? Burn him for a little bit and back out, and that would kind of punish him, and maybe he won't be able to go as aggressive next time because one, his gap closer would be down, and also you just chunked him, so now he has to use a pot. And if he doesn't, then he can't go as aggressive because you have the opportunity to actually kill him. So at this point, he hasn't used his ult. You need to respect his ultimate right now because he could just jump on you if he gets you low enough, which is what he's trying to do. He's trying to poke you down so that he can go for the all-in with his ultimate. I sure hope that my mic is on. I'm gonna be pissed off if. So you just take a bunch of free poke for no reason. No reason at all, man. Why? Why would you do that? Just why? I mean, he's done this to you like at least 4 different times under your own tower. So why aren't you respecting? Yeah, you see, you're still not respecting him. You're just like, here, come here, let me do free damage to you. I don't think you even landed your E. Did you land your E? Okay, whatever. You know, you landed. You might have landed something. If you miss, that's even worse. And you're taking a crap ton of damage. Now you should, at this point, you should actually back, because a well-played Zed could kill you in the tower. But I don't know. I don't think you know the true potential of Zed yet. So yeah, he's going to try to kill you, man. Now you get zoned off the tower, and you lose out on that farm. If you had backed earlier, you could have teleported back into lane. Granted, you might not have been able to get all that farm, but you would have gotten experience. That way, you minimize the damage done to you. At this point, Zed is level 8. I would venture out to say that after this wave, I don't know for sure. He might be level 9 after he clears out that wave. I don't know. But that's 2 levels on top of you. You know, that's like 2 extra levels on any other skill. So he'd be doing an average about 1.5 to 2 extra auto attacks worth of damage to you. So you both were to land your full rotation of damage, right? At the very least, not even looking into itemization, Zed has an extra 1.5 to 2 auto attacks on you just based off of levels. And you know, like I said, usually when you're looking at base damage on spells, whenever you increase it, it increases by a little less than 100% of the former damage. So like maybe leveling. Um, Later on we'll pull up some stats and we'll look at, and you'll see what I'm trying to say here. But so yeah, look at Zed is level 9 now. Okay, you did get level 8. You're fine, kind of. You're more fine than as if you were 2 levels behind. Okay, so you're missing out on a lot of farm. You're getting poked down for free. You tried it back early. I'm not sure why. And so now you're standing all the way back here, which I just okay. You're actually getting you're kind of oh all right. So I think I actually told you here that I think Xinjiao is in your jungle. Why did I say that? Because I noticed him dying to I noticed Fiddlesticks dying, right? And so I think you might have actually went back here when I told you that someone died there. Yeah, so Fiddlesticks dies, and so I'm not sure if you were following, but I remember in this game that we had seen Xinjiao maul over a bunch of people. So since he's a jungler, usually when the enemy jungler is higher level than you either they are really fed or you are really behind. In either case, you wouldn't be able to really take him on. So if you did see him in your jungle, I would have said to get the fuck out of there because Zed could collapse on you. Not only that, but you're in a total lose-lose situation here. You're losing out on that farm. You can't even get this. There's a potential that these two will gang up on and kill you. Is Zed gonna collapse on this? Let's look at it. So I'm not okay. I wouldn't have done that because you weren't gonna kill him. So I remember telling you about this. I think at the time I told you to exhaust him, but you actually exhausted him late. The best time again would have been to exhaust him immediately, right? Because he would be slowed and he wouldn't be able to get away from you. You could lay on attack. Then if he knocks you back or he flashes or does something, then you want to jump in and try to finish him up. But even that was kind of being a little optimistic considering how behind you were. But again, exhaust first. Look at it as kind of look at it as a stun, right? Though they're not really stunned, it's a huge tipping factor in a battle. So yeah, you're losing out on all this farm. Can we skip a little further? Or just kind of move it up a little? Oh, shiest. Oh no. No. Okay, well, I can find I can find it. Yeah, I think this was where you died. Yep. So you're running back, okay. So let's see if we can skip forward a little bit. So Zed is taking your tower because you can't deal with him anymore. You're taking your jungle. That's okay. Again, it's a newbie game, so I'm not gonna really harp on you for that. So at this point, you're 2 levels behind. Zed is a huge problem for you. Best thing you can do is if he lets you, again, farm under the tower, get whatever you can to minimize that level disparity. And it looks like you are building tanky, so it's not like you're going to be useless throughout the game. You're going to still have use. You got Fiddlesticks kind of nearby. Doesn't look like he's actually coming in to help you. So if you wanted to play a little aggressive or a little risky, you could have. If he had been coming up, but I think he actually saw nothing was happening and he backed out. Okay, so when Zed does that, you need to go and you need to punish the shit out of him. There's no way he's gonna be able to burn down a tower in time to all in you. So you gotta attack him because the moment he does attack you back, tower aggro's on you. He can't poke you back. He can't do anything. He needs to run out of tower range before. So that would be free damage. You're taking free damage, but you're not taking whatever was free to you. That just doesn't make sense, man. Wait, hold on, I'm just gonna get brownie out of this package here, but it just doesn't make sense because it just doesn't. It just doesn't. Think about it. You're taking free damage, but you're not getting your own damage down. You're not getting damage even in situations where it's free. So in a higher level of game, you might want to be paranoid about these bushes too. Now someone might be hiding in there. He's only got like vision of 4 people on the map. You don't know where Shinjao is. And you would know whether there was a camp there by looking at your map. Because it would pop up like that. So you wasted time there. Okay. So right here, the dragon goes down, right? You saw Lux disappear. Well, you didn't, but you should have been able to see Lux disappear based on your minimap. The minimap tells you so much. Lux is gone. Dragon is down. That probably means there's 4 people bot lane. So what you might want to do is possibly look into teleporting. Maybe, maybe not. But just don't die here. Just hold this tower. Keep this tower safe because Wukong's going to either... Wukong is in the best position to do something. Either he's going to try to take the tower or he's going to run down to help clean up. You guys got fiddlesticks. I'm not even going to talk about that. That's too far right now. We're focusing on you, but anyways, so you just want to hold this tower, keep it safe. So you look at, keep attacking him. Attack him. What are you doing? Attack him. You should be able to kill him right now. So again, remember when I said exhaust? If you had exhausted him, he would have immediately had to back out, right? Or he wouldn't have been able even hope to kill the tower, and the damage that he would be doing would be halved. You are in a prime position to just chase him down and fuck him up. You ult. If you had the exhaust on him, you probably would have been able to catch up so that he would have to gap, use his dash to get out. Then you can jump on him, right? But he got away because you misplayed it so hard. Look at that. And he exhausted you too. He had an exhaust too. Are you gonna try to dive him in the tower? Yeah, you do. And so you die here. You went from you took like your best opportunities and somehow made them into the worst plays. That should have been a kill by all means, but instead you died. You somehow got here. It's kind of funny actually. Just think about it. You went from the safety of your own tower, if and 5 seconds later or whatever, you were somehow over here and you were dead by their tower. How'd that happen, man? What's going on here? Go skip. Pretty sure you lost your tower at this point. You still haven't. Wow. At this point, now I will get the fuck out because Zed can definitely take down that tower, finish it off. You should have been like backing out or running away much sooner. But Zed is so ahead of you at this point that he can just fight you. His minions do whatever. That was a good exhaust for your survival's sake, but it's now a bad exhaust because it didn't make that job accomplished because you didn't want to run out. So your exhaust, any of your summoners, when used right, and I don't mean used right as in like that one key critical moment. I mean like in a lot of cases, you may not even have to think about it. If you use it, it's almost like a get out of jail free card. In fact, it is. That is what it's intended to be. That's why the cooldowns are so high, right? It is a get out of jail free card. You keep using them, and you're not securing anything with them. When you use exhaust or ignite or a flash, you should get it at the minimum a kill from it or survive from it. That's how it's supposed to be used. Well, right now, that's the basics, right? It's a get out of jail free card. It's not something you just take willy nilly. Oh, is this supposed to be the genre? What? Well, alright, and you take Phil 6, you take his red buff. I'm sure if I was him, I'd be pretty pissed off, but okay. I'm pretty sure he did that because you took his red buff. He was probably like pissed off. He's like, can't believe this guy took my shit. I'm gonna go take his shit now. Like, he literally walked all the way up there just to take that farm. And now he's going to the enemy jungle. Okay. Okay, I was actually gonna say, when you see Phil 6 run into their jungle, in the future, you want to be aware. You always absolutely want to be aware of your teammates. Always. So him going in here, you might want to consider the possibility that you might want to be in a position to run down there if anything happens. Which in this case might have been good. There was a bunch of people missing. I actually wasn't paying attention to where they were before a couple of minutes ago, but a quick head count, right? One person here, one enemy, and one enemy here. Would it be to your advantage to run down here? Or try to bum rush the tower, which is very unlikely at this point, unless they're really bad, because there's so many people missing, you don't know. Anyways, whatever. So many things that you can't account for. He's dead. Yep. And so here's the other thing, right? So you saw the health, right? You saw how low Phil 6 was. He got ass raped. He got ass blasted. And considering that, you're still just here, you're not respecting, you're just like, oh yeah, I know he is in this river, which is behind me. If I run back, I have this whole way to run back and there's no tower there. I'm just gonna stay here, I'm gonna hit the tower because, you know what, I can. I'm a dragon. But you don't know where everyone else is, right? You only see Janna. There could potentially be 4 people coming at you. You know for sure one can. And if I apply the paranoia rule, there's absolutely 100% sure that one will come for you. So what are you doing here? What are you doing? Like Chris Hansen would say, right? What are you doing? What are you doing here? You know, this would be a good idea if you had vision and you knew where one was, but you don't. So you're still trying to take the tower. Zed's here now. Now you're probably screwed because, well, like, why would he just walk in on you and just do all that? And you say to fight. Why? And you actually get, and the guy taunts you too. So you got solo killed by Zed. You can't remember, right? You can't even handle him in lane already, not even under your own tower. But you venture so far out, even though there's no tower for you to run to. So quick head count. There were 2 just top. Wukong just kills 1 person. So you know where 4 people are. 5 people, I think. 5? Where's the other? Anyway, whatever. Skip. Okay. This is interesting. Wukong gets a kill. Alright, so when you see this, Wukong's going for a kill. You need to be on point with your friends or your teammates, right? This team is very, up until this point you were on an island, really. That's how top lane is, you're on an island. But part of being a good top laner entails being a great team player, being on point, knowing when to go and when to initiate fights, etc., etc. So you need to pay attention to Wukong. You guys aren't communicating, so it's kind of like body language, right? You need to watch. At this point, Wukong's not within his vision. Does he plan to actually fight him? most of the time, I don't know if you know his skill set, but most of the time when Wukong plans to go into fight, he'll drop his clone because he's invisible. His clone's visible, but he's not, and then he'll sneak up to them. He is level 6 now. His ultimate's up. Oh, and here's another thing. You know the little green dot shows you your own teammates' ultimates when they're up. So right now, I think yours is down. Yeah, it is because your rage bar. So yours is down. He'll be able to tell by looking at it. He'll see like a little green dot how full it is. Garen has recently used his ult. That's why it's kind of still filling up, right? But there you go. All three of these guys have their ultimates, and so he has it. His ultimate knocks people out and locks people down. So at this point, if you want to be have a part in this fight, which you do, right? Because he's ahead. He's got bounty. If you both manage to kill him, it doesn't matter who gets the kill. Your whole team gets a big fat bounty split between you guys, right? So when he goes in, you want to go in too. You want to commit. You don't want to let your teammate. You don't want to let them hang out to dry, because they're trying to help you right now. So he goes in, right? Just chases them down. So I understand you want to get this farm, right? I think it was a good idea that you didn't chase because there's so many unknowns, right? Quick head count. There's only 3 people that you can truly account that you can't account for. You don't know if they're in your own jungle, so you could have died. Wukong should have backed off, and surprisingly, he actually gets a kill. But when you see something like this, you should be worried. You should be wondering whether they're here or here. This is not up yet, so they might be here, or they might be somewhere, planning to jump you guys. You should be paranoid. And now you try to go. I was like, why? Okay. I mean, you're all right because you're positioned here, so that you can now shove out the wave. All right. Enemy team's tilted. I mean, teammates are tilted. Okay. So remember when I said there's a bunch of people who are unaccounted for, right? When an enemy Lux comes after you, you need to wonder, what are they trying to do? That's maybe he's just stupid, right? You're both level 11. You're a tank. She's a squishy. You could probably kill her. You don't know the matchups yet, but you should still consider. Okay, there's 3 people I know are unaccounted for, and one just popped out and they're going super aggressive versus me. Hey, even within their minions, right? Why? Why would they do that? So you going on here, you guys are fighting. You got help on the way. You know someone's close. Well, I don't know, but there's someone's close by. But you guys are chasing too far into enemy territory. That would have been a great time to land a laser if she hadn't been exhausted. Oh, I think this was the part where I told you to exhaust her, and you just exhaust her now as opposed to later. And you were like, what? What? But you told me to exhaust. Well, going back to the same concept. As soon as you realize you have an enemy, or you plan to kill, right? If you plan to kill someone, the exhaust needs to come out ASAP. A lot of big mistakes that people make is, like say a Zed goes in on someone and starts wailing on them, right? And people don't exhaust until he ults, which in some ways makes sense. But if he drops his full combo on you, you are already chunked. You are low enough to where if he ults, which takes about half a second animation, and then if he stalls out the damage, and it takes about 3 seconds for the death mark, the pop to go off, right? He can wait however long exhaust takes. So from the time you exhaust him, maybe about 2.5 seconds, if I remember right, 2.5 or 2 seconds. He can wait until exhaust wears off, and he has like about half a second to do all that damage and still do about the same amount of damage. But even then, you've already taken a full combo's worth of damage, and then on top of that, you exhaust him at the wrong time. Then he piles on that extra bit of damage after exhaust wears off. You misplayed it. You exhaust them early on. That gives you 2.5 seconds to drop your full spell rotation on them. Do whatever you want on them. And then maybe kite back, or maybe just like run around, dance around his spells to try to outplay him, because you've already dropped your big chunk of change on him, right? And then by the time your spell comes back up, you have a dragon. If you just run, stay within range, but dodge his spells, right? Even if he lands them on you when you were in range initially, it's not gonna do a whole lot of damage, right? Then you dragon back in. Now the person's fucked, right? Because some of your spells are back up. You've landed instead of landing 4 spells on them, right? Because you landed your first 3 on them initially. Within that 2.5 seconds, you have ulti. By the time this comes back up, you now have an extra spell to use, right? Because you can jump back in, and then you're meleeing them on top of all this, and then you drop that. That's a lot of damage that they weren't able to do much about, right? So, so this Lux, when you saw her, there's so many things to consider. But if we're looking straight, in a one linear direction, if you plan to kill her, this is where you should have exhausted her. Not okay. So after you get snared, when you're just about to come off, or when she's just about to get out of range, that would have been the best time to exhaust her, to slow her so that you can try to catch up to her, right? When you're looking at matchups and when you're looking at more higher level play, you actually look for that snare and not really commit until you see her throw out that snare and it misses. Okay. So the exhaust would have been enough time, 2.5 seconds. If you exhausted her here, she probably wouldn't be able to get out of this bush before your snare ran out and before you could catch up with her. And Wukong's just around the corner too to cut her off, right? And he has a gap closer. So do you, but you use your ulti, right? So this could have been way better, right? So now you're chasing. See, she actually didn't even make it out the bush. So I mean, imagine if you had exhausted her. Maybe she would have been there by the time you got out, or maybe not even in the bush, right? And look how far Wukong was. That 2.5 seconds of a slope, he might have been here by the time she was actually here. Or you can look at it as like he might have been, here when she was here as opposed to here. So it's a far better situation, right? Okay. Anyways, and you guys go around choke point, which narrows the space, and she can actually land an easy double snare. So that exhaust at this point was pointless. Oh wow, you had dragon up. Okay, I didn't notice that. So yeah, maybe it would have been better if you dragoned and you stayed closer, because the longer a fight goes on, the better, right? Because you have the burn and you have this burn, you'll be maximizing damage. The closer, even if you weren't using spells on her per se, that's how you would maximize your damage. Because the one spell you're using and the aura you've got with the exhaust, right? Just staying within distance would have messed her up pretty bad for Wukong to finish her off, or you finish her off with a bit of help, right? Okay, well that Lux man decides to stay and she gets killed. You're pushing your tower. You don't know where everyone is. Now you do, right? Lux just died. I'm pretty sure someone on their team disconnected, because I haven't seen the 5th person in so long. I wasn't sure because at this level they could have a pretty bad, jungler who's AFK farming all game, right? But I don't remember what the lobby said. And this ward should have been in here. And that was a pretty bad ward because that ward gives you no vision, no real meaningful vision. So you keep pushing because we realized that there were people missing. At this point, you were adequately tanky enough to where if Zed jumps on you, you can get away. So you could ult. Yep, okay. Does he keep chasing? I mean, if he were to chase, he'd be in his burn trail. And you stop. Why did you stop? You could have kept going, son. You have boots, I think. I'm not sure what type of boots he has, but no way he can catch up unless he can flash or W, use his shadow. So okay, you get away. At this point, you can actually split push decently, and be a little cocky about it, because if Zed comes after you, you can actually get away, even if he ults you, right? I definitely think you could have won. This game is still winnable. Not even accounting for the fact that it was an AFK. Like if there wasn't one, I still think you would have been able to win the game. Okay, can we skip? Okay, you're just farming up the jungle, taking red buff. Okay, you go up to prevent Zed from taking tower. So pay attention. Wukong's coming in, right? Keep fighting. You're tanky. You can handle the punishment. Your red buff is slowing him. Good. Nice. That's one of the good things about red buff, which you happen to take. Um, Zed wasn't getting away because every time you auto attack him, you reapplied the slow. Okay, so you know one person is dead. There's one person. There's two people pushing the tower. I'm not sure where Lux is. There she is. So you know you can take this tower. There's no one to contest you because there's an AFK, right? But instead you back to deal with that. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But I think you would have been better off if you kept going. Here's another thing too. If your teammates actually were able to ward, you could actually come and help here because you can teleport behind them and help them clean this fight up. I don't know what this Master Yi is doing, but this would have been a great time. Garen's sort of in position to like collapse too. Wukong dies, unfortunately, but that would have been a potential power play because now you just back, and what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're running to there when this tower may have been gone, or you could have at least pushed it to where Zed has to deal with that tower. But enemy team overstays, you might actually make something good out of it. You do, but then you guys are probably gonna lose this tower because you guys are in an extended chase, or you got your movements, your map movements were very inefficient. You're still chasing. In that amount of time, you might have been able to run up over here and stop this, right? Does Lux get the tower? I think she does. Oh wow, she doesn't. You guys should be going over there right now to stop her. I mean, you could teleport too, but again, that's just an efficient use. Oh shit, this is where you... Wow, what a dick. Look at Master Yi, he is so pissed. Honestly, it's fine. It's whatever. Later on, when you get into a game, higher level play, when people are basically big ass crybabies, that's going to matter because sometimes doing something like that will actually ruin a winning game. Like I said, this game is winnable. I still think it's winnable, but if Master Yi had actually gone super rage mode and left the game, there would have been no way for you guys to win the game. We got shizzle going on here. You're the team's front line. Where were you, man? Why? And I think this is a bad fight right here. Like, the fight's over. Why are you still fighting? Yeah, you guys are dun dun dun. You guys basically killed the whole team by baiting them. Alright. Skip. Oh, oops, oops, oops. Dang it, why do I keep doing this? Oh, I think the game was almost over anyways. There you die, you're buying. You're still buying tanky, so I mean, you're not useless, period. You, if you were a low ahead, you would probably be dominating right now, because you would have a damage item in addition to your tankiness, right? Zed would have a hard time dealing with you. But yeah. So this game's pretty much over. Um, so you got your teammates here. You guys have the numbers advantage, so you guys could basically go fight and you. So Phil6 is gone, like you couldn't save him. They're taking the tower. Garen's split pushing himself. So in this way, the way you guys, the best condition for you guys right now is to stall this, because you got 4 people to match. Therefore, stop them from taking the towers. Garen's doing free work right now. The moment you see one person go back to deal with Garen, that's when all 4 of you guys should jump on and fight, because it's a mismatched battle, right? Because you guys have extra people, but you games that you lose at this level are lost because you do everything that could possibly be done wrong, wrong. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just talking about it from a um, improvement standpoint, right? From a seasoned player, I'm not the best, but I can see mistakes, right? I can see some of these mistakes, and all the mistakes that you're making are that if there was a way to mess it up, you mess it up. So just improving on all those little things that I talked about, and I talked about a lot of different things. And I tried not to get too specific, but I can in a later video when you kind of got some of these down. Um, you will be able to improve by working on all of these little small but additive things. You basically did a whole lot of things wrong, you and your team, but we're trying to get you to a point where you can win any game, and the only thing you can control is yourself. I hope that helped. Again, this is intended for brand new players, and really just intended for my friend. But if it helps anyone else out who's just starting League, hey, more power to you, and thanks for watching.